Hey, welcome back to another episode of Rideshare Rhetoric. I'm Clarky.
And I'm Margaret, and I'm super excited to hear another story of what happens in your ride share. So tell me, what are we going to talk about today?
Well, I thought we'd talk about language
Okay.
because I had a situation where I was horrified by these young girls. It's really interesting for me. Like, I'm nearly 65.
Oosh.
Exactly. There are, there are times like when I grew up, the word bloody was a
Mm,
swear word. My father gave me a clip over the years for saying that at a game of football when somebody got punched in the stomach.
yeah.
So you got hit, punched in the bloody guts. Crack. Um, don't say that. It's a swear word. So it's interesting how language evolves. And what's become prevalent to me is the C word. It is just everywhere. And it's being used like it used to be. For me, it was just the most vulgar, disgusting word you could use. Like you'd cuss using it. I would use it regularly playing golf when I hit bad shots, but that was just me.
Yeah, it was one of those words when I was growing up, you weren't allowed to say it,
No,
and you didn't hear it much
at
around
all.
either.
Now people are using it as a term of endearment.
Yeah, or they just use it in their everyday, just the way that they speak.
Yeah, it's crazy. And I just wonder where that evolved from. So I've done a survey. Let me tell you the story first.
Okay.
So the story is I've got four young girls in the car. They're all dressed up and they're going to a restaurant. They're overdressed for the environment we live in. Started chatting to them, found out they're private school girls from Brisbane and they're all friends and they were getting together for a weekend. So we're driving along and it's a sunny Saturday and it's really busy. The roads are congested
Hmm.
to the point where we're stationary, just edging along. And we came to a situation where a car wanted to go in the other direction from a driveway to my left. So I made space for her. And it was an elderly lady and she's sitting there and she was a bit hesitant. So I'm going, come on, you can move. It's all right. I'm giving her hand gestures to move. And she went, no, I'm not moving. She wasn't sure what was coming the other way. The other lane was empty.
Hmm.
So I was calling her at the right time. Anyway, we're sitting there and this young girl over the back, just all of a sudden, out of the blue, leans forward over my shoulder and goes, come on, you silly old cunt, move. And I went, whoa, I didn't expect that coming out of this
Wow.
young girl.
Mm.
So we started talking about it and saying, is it a word you use just all the time? Because I'm like, it doesn't sit well with me hearing it and it doesn't look great coming from you.
Especially when you're all dressed up, right? And you're kind of going somewhere a bit fancy and you
Yeah, it just didn't fit. The word didn't fit to the image,
yeah,
if that makes
in your
sense.
mind.
In my mind,
Right,
yeah,
that's the
yeah.
thing,
So
in
I'm
your
being
mind.
judgmental when I'm saying that. So since that ride, and we spoke about it, and she actually used it again when we got out of the car, saying, "Come on, you C's, let's hop out of the car."
That's that term for a mate, so a
Yeah,
term of
and
endearment,
I'm going,
yeah.
yeah, I think that was probably a bit of show just to reinforce it to me. We've spoken about it for 5 minutes.
Let's show this old man.
We'll shock him. So since then, I quite often get a lot of people in the car that there's no podcast worthy story.
Clients are not content, I keep telling you this.
So whenever I get that situation, I say, here's an opportunity because everybody has an opinion. So I have this great group of people to
Mm.
get opinions from. And so I've had young people and old people, I've asked them the same question. How do you feel about the C word?
Mhm.
And I had this Spanish guy, this young Spanish guy who's been in Australia for 2 years. He's going, well, in our language, we don't have it. I'd never really heard of the word prior to coming to Australia.
Mhm.
I said, really? How do you feel about that? He goes, it's my favourite word.
It's interesting that he said it's not in my language because there's swear words in every language.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's something that maybe there's not the equivalent.
Equivalent,
Yeah.
yeah.
Anyway, so I've spoken to lots of people from overseas, from UK and Finland and Sweden and South America and different countries of South America. Nearly all of them have said they use it, especially people under the age of 25,
Mhm.
use it as part of their vernacular. But they say it's very Australian, which I
Really?
found really interesting because in America they shun the word.
Yeah, my American friends don't like it at all.
Yeah.
I mean, I still don't really like it. I remember being shocked when it was told, someone said it in a workplace a few years ago, and I was like, What did you just say? We're in a workplace."
But it's even permeating into like TV shows where they use it as shock
Yes.
factor.
Yeah.
They just drop it and it's a one-off.
Well, I don't know. It used to be used as shock factor. Now I feel like it doesn't even have that impact of feeling shocking when you hear it anymore. It's just you almost expect it to come out sometimes.
So the older people have asked about it have been horrified.
Yeah.
Like even the guys go, "Oh, I would never use that," because what it represents, and
Yeah.
it just
But what it represents to older people is different to what it represents to younger
well,
people.
they don't know what it represents.
That
It's just a word.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm really interested in is that how does words evolve in our language, in our society? Like, why is it seen by all these young people who come to Australia as an Australian word?
Mm.
Like,
Well, I think those things like being more frequently heard in media, in TV shows, in movies, and of course social media, the more people sort of start to use it. People did start with it as a shock factor, and now it's just sort of become part of that conversation for lots of particularly young
mm,
people.
I can never see myself saying to my best friend, "Come on, you see, come with me."
Well, that's lucky for me.
It just doesn't sit right.
I don't know, I reckon I could call you that every now and again.
That yeah, I can understand that. You're throwing mud at me when you're saying that though. That's okay. But
No, I'm
no, I know.
kidding.
Okay. But to use it just in general conversation, like the F word's used all the time now.
Yeah.
And they go F and C and F and C. And all these kids are just talking like this all the time, right? And I just wonder, does it start to erode our our society in some way?
Well, I think our language is eroding anyway from all those things like just shortcuts when you're texting, the use of the way that we're using AI, all of those things contribute to, I want to say, the de evolution or the evolution of
Yeah.
our language. But I also think so. I remember um, when I was. So I do a bit of training, run a few workshops and what have you. And I remember a mentor telling me that as a trainer, you need to be the most flexible in the room. So you need to not be shocked when people drop that
Mm,
word in order to really remove that sense of judgment. And I think it's a really interesting thing to step back and just sort of accept without judgment that there's people who are going to use that language. Doesn't mean that I want to use it. It doesn't mean that you have to even like it, but it's really interesting, and I noticed I took that on for myself just to, all right, yep, I can do that. And so when people drop it, when you're in a training and in unexpected situations, you just kind of roll with it as opposed to getting offended. Because I think what's most important to realize is most of the time when people are using it now, it's actually not meant in an offensive way,
mm,
which is really interesting. Aside from perhaps a young girl who was in your
yeah,
your
that's funny.
car.
Move your C. I
Yeah.
said just
Yeah,
use the
yeah.
other C word, the cow. Um,
But it's not always meant in an offensive way now, which is really curious. Like, that's a curious evolution because
yeah, yeah. Well, I think I'm going to embrace it.
yeah,
So next person that gets in the car, I'm going to say, "Morning, C," and see what sort of response I get.
and he goes from 5-star to 1-star rating very quickly.
Anyway, it was just
Mm,
something that just I don't know, just burned a little hole in my head when she
yeah,
spoke about it. But that's life. That's life. The world changes, and it just proves I'm old.
in case you needed more proof.
Exactly. Okay. Well, thank you very much for watching this episode. If you like it, follow, subscribe, share it with your friends, and until next time.